Hello everybody, First Month is here, today with Bootlegger number 2. With this knife, I break some my, I would say, promises, not promise, but it's just, that's what I said before. I probably never buy this knife because, as you know, probably, I bought this one, Bootlegger number 1, which is interesting. I looked just right now for the tops page and I didn't find any one of these. So maybe they stopped, canceled that producing, or maybe they'll start later, but probably you can buy it now only in shops, and when they sold them, all of them, I mean, maybe they will be not available. So let's go for it. So I said I'll never buy this knife because, and I got two things I would say. One, I was wrong, which is I said I don't want to buy this one. I bought it, so that was the wrong. But that was the, what was the good, I mean, or the positive is because the saw is not in the same thickness as the spine. This is what I said when I've seen this one on the screen, and somebody did some review. It was some kind of shop, because as I remember, you can't see any test of the knife, and generally not really many videos about this knife, even or nearly even as the Bootlegger number 1. Oh, I forget the sheet here. It's somewhere there, so I bring it a little bit later. But what I want to say is, it was really, I was right. I was really right. I will start with practical things, which is test. I won't do the test with this knife because I did with the Bootlegger number 1, and I recommend you, if you didn't see it, just have a look for the Bootlegger number 1, and it will perform in the slicing and everything very closely like this one. But I won't baton with this because each of these tooth will make the knife weak for that. There's simply not that much meat. This knife, I will do it with a really small piece, which I can really baton with my folder. So I want to do it if that will be not really necessary from whatever reason. So, but I worked with some wood, and you see the saw right now. Tops Bootlegger number 2 with a saw, sharpness and everything right out of the box. I didn't touch the blade. This is some crappy wood, probably some pine. Sorry, just as I said, right out of the box. Very close to performance of Bootlegger 2. As you can see, that's why I removed, I keep it here now just for you to see. That's why I removed it from the first model, because I don't like this one jumps around. Okay, I can put it, stick it somewhere like this one, but I don't see really use for it. This is walnut tree. It seems to me the number 1 was a little bit more slicey. Maybe it wasn't. Just sorry, just my eyes shaking. So but as you can see, it can do the job as a knife nicely. This is much more harder, but much more harder. Dry it on beak. Nice. Okay, so that was about initial sharpness, as I said, right out of the box. But point is about the saw. Sorry guys. I'd like to compare, let's say this saw is very similar thickness, there's less teeth on it, but okay. And the point is, of course, I got this one still in the same thickness, and of course the thickness of the saw is same as the thickness of the spine. Here it is not like that, so as you know now. So let's check it out. You see that? Sorry. So I just use this wood for the thing I want, so as a support, of course. So I'll try 20 strokes with this. It should be 20. I'll do this one with the Bootlegger. It has a longer saw, so it should be better. So now we see the result. So this is the Helion Elite, and this is the Bootlegger. Actually, the Bootlegger came deeper into that, as you can see, maybe 20%, but because maybe there is simply more teeth, that's why it happened like that. But what is true, and what you can see it here, it really starts to like lock the knife. I can feel it. I can feel more, even when I go deep into wood, I feel more resistant of the wood because the angle. But in the other hand, I expected it more. It is maybe because the changing of the thickness is not really that big. Actually, it's just less than 1 millimeter. So that's why I can do it. So if I can do a notch like this one, which is 1 centimeter deep, it's enough. What you've seen there was actually, maybe you realized that it was a board and it was dry wood, generally dry wood. So I'll go to it a little bit later. This is the sheet. I want to have it out of my mind. Exactly the same as the Bootlegger #1. As you can see, I didn't use it. So it's there. I don't like it. You can make it more tight, but you know, I don't want to waste time with this. There was actually a piece of about 1/2 meters of paracord lashed on here, and for the lashing hole, and that's it. So this is the sheet which is crap for me. I got this one, so much better. Okay, go to the knife. First, the specifications, because I really did it. I'm making this video especially as a comparison between Bootlegger #1 and Bootlegger #2. What is very important, every single knife up till today has special position in my collection. I bought it with something in my mind. Where I put the knife into collection. I up to now I didn't buy knife just I like it, because I like many knives, but you know, saving some money, and you know that. So every knife I bought up to today, even machetes, has some practical use for me. Yeah, we got the rotation, everything. Yeah, that's for, I would say, hobby, but still, I bought the Bootlegger with something in my mind, and Bootlegger #2 with something in my mind. Generally, the differences for me, I will start it with this way. Bootlegger number 1 is great backup knife, even kind of fighting knife, and as you remember what I said, it is great companion for my T1 tracker, even T3, etc., because it has a straight edge, which this one doesn't, and really nice drilling tip, I would say. Nice piercing, but good for drill, because as you can see now, the tip is really strong. Tip on the Bootlegger number 2, I mean, this part is generally the same, so same purpose. What is different on these, as I said now, this is the more as a backup knife, as I said, but this for me is more as a tool. Why? Because I got the edge, I got the tip, same as the Bootlegger number 1, but the batoning ability or toughness of the knife is decreased because of the saw. But in the other hand, the saw gives me another option how to use the knife, and that's what I have in my mind, or what I had in my mind actually. And this is why I bought it, because I've tried to find a knife with a which will be really compact, with some piercing tip, with a saw. I know it is not deal breaker, but I like it because I'm using it, and it is really helpful if you got it. Of course, you can say I got my Silky, of course, but this is another tool, and this is definitely more dedicated for sewing. But I don't want to take off my Silky for every time I want to do just a knot or notch something, something like this one. Even I can use it for plastics and so and these things. I don't want to use my Silky for some plastic materials, simply something different than the wood, or any wood actually. So that's why I want to have this knife, the saw on it. So I've got now excellent tool, which is light. We go to the point, but this is lighter than this one, which helps in this meaning, because it is a companion, it is a tool. So I got a straight edge, I got a nice drilling point, I got even self-defense tool, very light, very fast if I need it, and I got a saw on it. So when you want to craft something from wood, this is definitely good choice. So go for the details. Right, come on. So we got this one, the original, weights as a knife only 206 grams or 7.3 ounces, and this is 187 grams or 6.6 ounces. So there is difference 19 grams, which is not really a big deal, 19 grams, but it is still lighter. 19 grams plus, it is, or 0.3 of ounces. This is, I don't have it here. Oh, okay. My Bark River Kalahari Bushman 2 weighs about, I think 180. So it's just slightly heavier than this one. Okay, the sheath, this crap weighs 138 grams or 4.9 ounces. Together, Bootlegger 1 weighs 344 grams or 12.2 ounces, include the sheath, overall package. And the Bootlegger number 1 weighs 325 grams or 11.5 ounces, just the weight. Okay, we go to length. Both of these knives are, in these matters, same. So we got the overall length is 23.7 centimeters, each of them, or 9.33 of an inches. A blade, and blade I mean from the handle to very tip, 12.7 centimeters or exactly 5 inches. But the edge, so real edge from here, as I said, is same. So from here to the very tip is 11 centimeters exactly, or 4.33 inches. So 11 centimeters for this. And this is the handling what I really like, this kind of ricasso with the big choil here, which separate the edge from from the handle is nice when you do some really nice carving. Same as here, as we know. This is a bit more comfortable because about the thickness I'm going to it a little bit later, but of course because the first tooth here, I need to rest my first finger somewhere, or I'm sorry, my thumb, sorry, on the first tooth. If I want to use it in this way, I'm here. But because the most of the weight and pressure is here on the ramp or on the spine, it is not really big deal. It is not a problem. It is not like that I wanna press towards to the saw. No, I'm here. So this is really not really the deal breaker. I feel it, but there's no problem with it. And what is important, as I said, when I spoke about this one, I expected that this one on the Bootlegger one, this is micarta. That's what I expected because tops use it mostly micarta. And I found there it is G10. But on the Bootlegger too, this is micarta. And to be honest, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think that this is G10. I believe both of these are micarta. That was just wrong description. Because I don't see any reason why they put the G10 here and generally don't use it, and micarta here. Anyway, why this color on that? You see the red liners, both of them. Why these colors of the micarta? No idea. Just to be clear, which of the models you got? Yeah, now you can see pretty easy. But why? I don't know. I don't know. I try to put different color than this one because this is a little bit shiny when you got it in the. That's really different. When you got it covered by this, of course you can't see anything. But like this one, also it will be better if I will have it in this sheath. So more to this way. Okay, carry on. This is guys. This is a knife. This is the case of the knife. If you got generally to the same knife, which should have some kind of differences, which you hard to see the differences until you got the knife in your hand. Because there is lots of differences on this knife, then it looks on the first look. So you say, okay, there is a saw and there isn't. Okay, but it is not like that. It is much more on it. Because the weight, you can say, okay, the weight could be reduced by the teeth. But as I said, carry on. I made some preparation again. You can stop it if you like to. Just everything is here, but I'll tell you now the description on it. So we got the first thing. This is this spine, or general the knife up to here, where you can see the, how to call it, the step. This is a quarter of an inch, all the length, all the spine. It is so 6.4 millimeters or 0.25, so quarter of an inch. Up to here, up to this point. Here, it is not. Generally, the blade is going more to the tip, not really in a steep angle, but slightly. I don't know the reason again. Don't know why they changed it. I can't really see the reason, but maybe there was something in their mind. So, as I said, I was quarter of an inch. Here, on the other hand, there is immediately step where you see the silver line here. There's immediately step made a little bit thinner. You can see it here. This immediately step from 6.4 millimeters to 6.1 millimeter, which is 0.24, not 0.25 or 24. It's not really big deal, but there is something what is important on it. Where is the first step? By the way, this and up to the line, I mean from this side towards the handle, the black part is a quarter of an inch, and this is the 0.25 of an inch. So this is the difference, just when you pass the line. Okay, You can see maybe here, right? And carry on. The next difference is where the first tooth is, somewhere here. The problem of this knife, and that's what I meant when I said I don't want to buy it because of the reason, but because I couldn't find any better choice. I said, okay, I will buy it anyway, because if I will be not happy with that, okay, I will change it. I will do some changes on it, and I will make the lines maybe even. So, but a little bit later, back to it. So we got a B1. So okay, bootlegger number 1 B1 is everywhere is the same. Where is the shoulder? Where's the shoulder? When you pass the shoulder, it drops down about 1 millimeter from each side. Okay, enough about this one. The second version, the bootlegger 2 B2, I call it B2, is 0.21. So it's 0.21. So it drops again from 0.24, 5, 0.24, and then 0.21, which is 5.5 millimeters on the top, and 6.4 or 6. Oh, sorry. 6.1. Yeah, the problem is I need to measure the shoulder, or the widest part, and the part of the saw where the thickness of the saw is, and that's the difference. So 6.1 on 5.5 millimeters. So the difference is 0.6. So more than half millimeter is going from the thickest part to the real spine, so where the teeth are. So 6.1 here, but 5.5 here. And it will be not that complicated if it will be the same, but it is not. When we go to the tip, it is going more. It tapers down. So I'm saying this one in good way, and this way, and up to here. We got where the silver part you can still see. So there is a 5.6 on that spine, on the widest part, on the thickest part, and up to there, down there is, sorry, up to here, the top of here. So just here, but on the top, it is 4.6 millimeters or 0.18. So the difference on the shoulder or the step here under the silver from this, so it's hard to explain. So it's a little bit complicated. I'd like to give you really proper information. Here, it is that 5.6 millimeters or 0.22, and here on the spine, here where still there is not the step down. We are on up to the step. There is the 4.6, which means why I'm telling this one, which means the difference on this position and this position on this knife and on this knife is 2 millimeters, each 1 millimeter from each side. So really the blade is going 1 millimeter down, which is not on the bootlegger number 1. Well, as I said, you can't realize it when you see it on somebody is showing that in the shop and is turning talking about it, but you can see just what I seen, and I expect that I try to catch it many times before I bought the knife. If the angle from the thickest part to the spine, how big the angle could be, because I can see. Now I know. And that's one point. So not only the saw is generally like this one, so against what you want. If you go to saw, you want to have it like this one. So make the hole you're cutting through thicker or wider, and the rest of the blade is going easy inside because it has the way. This is the different way. This is that when you more deep you go, then harder you need to pull the saw is one way. So that's and it is tapers down to the tip also. So not only like that, but also with this. So when you go to and that's the practical thing I want to say. You can see it on the practical video, on the practical part, when you see the using of this saw is when you go to dry wood, you can't really realize. You start to feel some pressure, which you really hard to pull the knife. And because the handle is straight, it's just comfortable if you don't need to go really deep into it. It's better than if you do it with a tracker, for example. This is a really huge blade, and so you got this one. This is not really comfortable. So but with this it is easy. But when you change, and you can see it on the in use part, when you got fresh wood where is some water in it, I mean more water, you really find the resistance of the material when you do these movements, and it is really not something nice. They need to pull more and more, and then because you don't have the hook, how the trackers they got it, so you can hook your hand a little bit on that and use more power. You can't really hear, and you just need to grab it more stronger, and deeper you go, then harder you need to pull. Just about halfway, I would say, just about halfway, somewhere like where my finger shows, something like that, you can't really feel different. So up to that point, you do the sewing really easily. When you go deeper, especially with that fresh wood, you start to feel it. So that was the thing I was afraid of, and it is just like that. And the difference is not really big, the angle isn't that I expected more. The angle is more steep, so everything will be harder from the start of the sewing, but it is there. What I probably do is I'll try to reduce the step here and make this one, simply clear this one off, and make the saw more useful, because it is useful. It is. I've tried a couple of materials, and why? For example, if you want to break some, okay, you want to get something like this one. You got this knife, so you can try to cut. You can use batoning, which, as I said, with this, I think, weakness of the teeth here, I'm not sure if that will be a good way. But what you can do, you can go around. If you can go around and sew it from around, and it will really remove enough material. The saw generally is very good, so you can reduce its thickness, and then you break it. That's I where I can see the reason for these. Of course, for crafting, and you can use this part, especially this part, for fire starting, if not the saw by itself, because this is very sharp, so it will really help to start fire. Anyway, if you remember, I've tried to use these silver parts for fire starting because these are nicely like rounded, so good for ferro rod, and it works. So definitely it will work here this way, definitely. So next thing is in the number of the teeth here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. It is the knife with the highest amount of teeth than all my knife. This is T1, and it has 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. T3 got 7, and T2 got 6, and T4 got 5. and my Helion Elite got just 5, I think. So just because even his long blade, much longer than this one, it has less amount of teeth. Maybe you know you don't need for notching them so many, but because you got them, so every time you pull, then you got it. So this is the reason why I buy it, because if you got nice combination, just normal general knife, 5 inches blade, and you got another 5 inches blade, but in very different shape, and you can use it if this one weighs over 300 grams, 35, 3.5, 3 and 5 grams, 305 grams. This is 187 grams, very light, very light. This could be the difference, not only for the big knives, as I want to say, for my. This is excellent combo. This is the slicer, even short machete, and this is the crafter, you know, with a wood and everything for the Silent Hero. I like Silent Hero. This is just accompany, much lighter, smaller backup, but with different abilities. I said I don't like the tiny tip. Here is not. I like to have a saw on it. I got it. Why not? For the trackers made by Tops, I don't need it because I got a saw on it. So if I want to have this one or simply different knife, but what about this one? Park River Tracker. Another. So another combination. My Tops machete, even with Gurkha cookery. Great choice, because each of these knives I've shown are lack of something like the piercy tip and the saw. If you need it, as I said, I know maybe somebody said, oh, but you don't really need the saw. No, I don't really need the saw, but I know if I got it, and anyway, I've got some backup knife and shorter blade, light blade, you know, why not on it? The Tops is producing Mohawk, how you call it, Mohawk Hunter knife. Generally very similar design, just everything is a little bit bigger and there's a little bit of hawk on it, and it is thickness, I think 3/16, which will be, if there will be the saw on it, I'll go for it, because it could be better choice, just overall blade, because as you can see, if you don't count this knife, all the knife which has the saw on it are thick, heavy, massive blades. This is the exception. Okay, don't count that T4 tracker, but that's something I didn't say. I bought this one even cheaper, about $20 cheaper than I bought this one. So even that was a good deal for me. So I said the reason, and just how I fast realized the differences in the knife is when I got a sheet which was made for the Bootlegger #1. There is no something I need to finish. This one is not finished, but as you can see, it is there. If I put this one there, see that? So just this one says me when I try to stick it there, then I say, oh, something is wrong, something is different on it. That's why I realized. I didn't sit and talk my caliper and say, oh, what's this one? No, I just use this one. I said, oh, I need to change what's wrong on it, because I expected that everything will be same. What I just realized that when I pulled the saw out of this one, the first time, a couple of times, maybe you see the scratches in it. Yeah, you can see the scratches in it. And so that's the saw. Yeah, okay. This is the halfway made sheath for it. I hope this weekend I will finish this one to final version for my Bootlegger #2, and it's simply become my really go-to friend, especially if I'm not really in a forest at the moment, unfortunately, with this knife, because this is excellent combination for everything you just need. It is not that heavy. 240, 187. Okay, so 420 grams exclude the sheath, but that's really nothing, because you know, it is not in my pocket, it is in my backpack, which I brought with me. Of course, you know, the EDC is EDC, we know it, but I got another knife with me, I mean, in my pocket. So that's the thing. Okay, I think that's enough what I want to say. All right. Will I recommend this knife, the Bootlegger number 2, if you can find it? Because it seems to me it could be a little bit harder than I thought before. Yes, I recommend it, but I guess it needs to do some job on it. So I need to do the blade, especially because the saw a little bit in different shape, and then it will work really nicely. I'm happy that I bought the knife, really. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. Have a nice time and see you next time. Bye.